Hello and welcome everybody to PlayUp Legends, where we play D&D. And with me, I have my group 3, for our third session today. And before we get started, obviously, we have to mention our sponsors, as always. We get them out of the way here. Um, so we have the Miniature Corner Studio, which you can find on Facebook, and you can use the code PlayUp21 to get a 10% discount on all miniatures on your final bill. You also have the giantstower.com, which you can use the code PlayUp15 on their website when you're ordering. There's terrain, 3D modeling, they have amazing themed stuff. And the code is PlayUp15 to get a 15% discount on your final bill. And last but not least, the people have been with us since the start is the Warmonger Games Malta, and they are giving us the code Legends 1538, I think it was. It will show up here at some point. Sorry, I don't have the shortcut notes. Speaking of the Miniature Corner Studio, by the way, this is an amazing piece that I have that I'll be using today for my session again. The dice tower, and that will be going right there. And last but not least, guys, if you like what you see here, our production, you can go onto patreon.com/playupmt, and you can support us for as little as €3 per month. We did upgrade our tiers of €5, €10 and €15 for hopefully once COVID passes, we actually get to see you guys in person, and there are benefits if you become a Patreon of those tiers. But you don't need to if you just everyone has their own budget. If you can support us for as little as €3 per month, that is also helpful. We're constantly upgrading our materials and our production as we go along. And without further ado, we can actually start the session. Guys, introduce yourselves.
I am Ennis, a disgraced dwarven fighter, noble, and military captain, seeking to regain his honor and his name, and reunite with his family.
I am Odd, the tiefling who's trying to recover 10 missing years from his life, once a bard, now gone rogue, to save his family from danger.
I'm Marin, a human wizard from a remote mountain village, currently on a quest to become a great illusion wizard.
I'm Tlomax Thunderhorn, a Firbolg Tempest Cleric, and I'm in search for other like-minded followers in the Thunder Sea.
So as you can see, unfortunately, like yesterday, we have a small technical issue, guys, and Lomax, we can only hear him, but he provided us with a very handsome picture of himself. You can you can see it there. So guys, last we left off, you guys actually managed to escape the town of, a village in the Pikelands, and something really weird happened to Odd in the process of this, when he found this mysterious brooch which seems to affect him in some way. Once you reported this to your quartermaster, he has decided that your next mission will be to go back to your homeland, Odd, your hometown village in the RedHorn Divide, to hopefully retrieve some form of other memories, and he's going to take a leap of faith here and trust that being in the area might actually help you retrieve your memories. That being said, you guys went to excessive training to the point where you guys now are level 4, right? Over here we just have a funny picture of Odd and Ennis going through their training moment. You can see Ennis is not so fond of traps. Odd seems to be doing quite well. He has actually decided to put down his lute and his musical equipment, keeping his poems aside though, and taking excessive training in rogue skills. So hopefully they will come more in handy in the field for the guild, the Watchers. That being said, you are finally within with the quartermaster. Um, and once again, he trusts Marin with another blue crystal of teleportation. Don't forget, Marin, the way it works is you scratch it the first time to get to the location that it wants to send you. You get to snap it in half to return back to the guild quarters. Okay? So, that being said, is there anything you guys want to do prior to leaving the quarters? I know that Ennis has some form of trouble going on with Clomax.
Yes. So, Clomax,
Yes.
why are you still carrying and wearing Ishmael's armor? I already thought that you were meant to keep. We agreed that you only meant to keep it for one mission, and that's it. We give it back to his family. If you were part of the military, I'd have you disciplined heavily for that. Just to let you know, that is not something you do.
So, one, I'm not fucking part of the military. I'm a cleric and I'm here to help. Two, the dealing was done before I wore the armor in the sense that now I've taken a fond liking to the armor, and also I would think Ismail, right, between me wearing it, it's like we're remembering him all the time in our battles and in our adventures.
It's
To
not how
have
it
a
works.
part of him with us all the time.
It's not your armor. If anything, it should be given back to his family. I'm pretty sure he had one. Parents, children, whatever. They would they would want to have this. That armor is a unique armor. It's not any armor you just gotta buy off from blacksmith. It was custom made. It's an heirloom.
The sword was an heirloom, which we left behind us.
Oh, crap. Fine. Still, we should still return the armor. It's something that for them to remember him by. Something that should remain in the family. It's not yours.
Really theirs. And it's also, they're helping us stay alive, helping me stay alive more than anything else. It helps us remember him as well. Why shouldn't we remember him? Ismail. He was one of us, one of the Watchers.
We can remember him in other ways. We don't need his armor to do that.
The quartermaster enters in this heated quarrel between you. He kind of looks at all four of you in your quarters and going like, "What are you still doing here? You should have you should have left by now. We are already delayed by 4 weeks due to your training. We do not need to delay any further."
Very well. We go?
We go.
Marin?
Hey.
I got Marin's hand.
And here we go. So you find yourselves in a amongst fields, I would say, a bit of woodland. You can actually see the RedHorn Mountains from the backside at this point. And as you're taking in the scene after the teleportation, you start to realize something's not right. On the main road, as you've teleported kind of on the side of it, hidden by bushes, leaves, and tree, you can start to see like these small humanoids marching slowly on the main road. And as you kind of look around to see where they're marching towards, you see a village which is heavily occupied. You recognize this odd as to be the RedHorn Divide. However, something really weird about it is that it now has a defense wall around it, where before it was an open village to nature and farming. Um, there's heavy sounds of humanoids and other beings there that has occupied the area. It seems a bit overpopulated than you remember from the days of your childhood. Now remember, the last time you were here, you were about 10 years old, so seeing such drastic change might mean one of two things. It either has become an important village all of a sudden, rather than a quiet one than what you remember, or something else is going on.
What says to the others, I don't like the look of this. We were quite a small village before. I hope no one's in danger, but I have a bad feeling.
Okay. What I need you to do, guys, stay low. You're saying you didn't recognize the village as it was,
No.
correct?
No.
Okay. We may need to be careful.
Is that
This-
an army marching on the road, Ennis? What is that?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's an army. This is why, be careful, we need to lay low. I don't know which side they are. They
Yeah.
might be hostile.
Do I recognize the insignia of the army?
No, you don't.
Do I recognize the insignia of the army?
You actually do. They're carrying the banner
Okay.
of Dol Darum.
All right. All right.
The banners are mostly torn, and the army looks almost defeated the way they're dragging their feet.
Okay. Okay. So, lay a bit low. I know. Okay. So I know these. I know these people. So you should really lay a bit low. I haven't seen them in a while, and they're not exactly welcome in the clan anymore.
Oh, these are your clan?
They used to be.
Yes. Should I be worried? What type of people were they?
Weren't aggressive. We weren't aggressive, but we're at war. People do drastic things in war, and it's unclear why. They may have decided to take interest in a particular village, possibly strategic. They more likely won't see you as hostile.
They see you as hostile?
Unlikely, but I'm not going to be welcome, not necessarily to be welcomed in open arms. I'm disgraced. I'd suggest you be careful with Marin. My clan wasn't particularly fond of humans. And there are reasons for it, which quite long and which are very long. I'd rather not go into right now.
So, I mean, I can make myself look different, but only for an hour.
Yeah, exactly. Best to lay low for a while until we get a better idea.
Want me to
of
crouch
how things are.
down with help?
You shouldn't be a problem. I mean, furbolgs are natives, but are natives who don't have much problem with them.
Okay.
Tieflings.
Tieflings, typically speaking, societies don't generally trust tieflings. We're not going to necessarily be hostile, just maybe a bit watchful.
I hope your clan, your ex-clan, didn't harm my family in any way.
I'd hope so too.
Okay. Shall we get going?
Yeah.
So
We need to prepare.
which
Sorry.
path are you guys taking at this point? Are you going to kind of use the main path that is currently being used by this dwarven army? Or are you going to take the side roads, so basically the cover of the bushes and trees?
Side road would be better, right?
To lay low, for sure.
Yeah. Side
Yeah.
road.
If we're going to make ourselves seen, we should go through the main road. We shouldn't just come out from the side, give them a fright. They might just attack.
We should go. I think best to go through the side road. Lay low, let the army pass, and then
We'll get the village post.
Scout out a bit.
if anyone's gonna talk to them, it probably should be me. I'm not welcome, but at least I know the clan. I know the clan. At least I used to.
All right. So you guys make yourselves your way through the greenery, the bushes, and all that, and you kind of stay away as far as possible from your description, from the main roads, making sure that the army actually passes by. The army, due to the heavy plate armor and all the equipment that they're carrying with them, it takes them a good, you're at the gates, at the second wall, actually, of the RedHorn Divide village, and as you wait for the army to pass, you notice this takes a good hour and a half, 2 hours, until all of them kind of enter the city. I keep changing it, village, city. It's a village. It's a village. Sorry.
Township.
Can we see into the village from our vantage point?
The problem is that the village has, the minute you got closer, Odd, you realize that it has two walls, right? There's an exterior and an interior wall.
Who wants to use my shoulder?
How high is the wall?
The wall is roughly, give or take, about 25 feet high.
Okay, so a bit higher than me.
Yes, the design of them is clearly done to fortify the area. And unfortunately, it's not the best of fortifications because they're using wood, so not stone.
Flammable.
Exactly.
Don't go burning anything.
Clearly, despite the dwarven army taking settlement here for some reason, it's not them who built the walls. This is something that you would have noticed, at least, Ennis.
Okay.
Your approach, guys. What are you doing?
So
I think Ennis first.
Yeah.
I'll take the rear. We'll have, I suppose, a Marion in the middle, and we'll go from
I'll
the side.
go talk to them.
I think I should make myself look different, at least while you say hello.
Before Ennis leaves us, if he's going to go talk to them, I'll
Who's
just...
going to go alone? Is that really a good idea?
I don't think you should go alone.
Before
They're not likely to attack me. When I say I'm not welcome, I'm just not welcome as being a member of the clan. I'm still dwarven. I'm still know some of these people. Some might be mad after what happened, but
Before we get close, I'm casting guidance on you to help you with the things you might need.
So I walk to the front gates I walk to the front gates. I assume there'll be guards there protecting it. Yes?
Actually, the front wall is not protected at all for some reason.
Okay.
So it's completely empty. It's not guarded. There's no form of patrol. It's an open invitation. The door, the big wooden doors are open.
Okay.
And as you can see, kind of 35 feet away, where the second wall is, you see a lot of commotion within the village. There's a lot going on in there. So I don't know, do you want to approach further in?
We're going with them, right, guys?
He's muted.
Okay, so you guys froze for a while. For me, at least. Everything okay?
Yeah,
Oh,
we're good.
yeah.
All right. Okay. So what I was saying, I guess seeing that there's no security for now, I call them to them to come behind me, just so I can. So if I'm gonna face commotion, I can see. I at least know they have my back, and I keep moving forward and go forward to see what's actually going on.
Okay. Everyone agrees
So
with this, guys?
yes. We go at least head to the first gate. We follow him slightly.
So as you make your way past the first gate, um, no one takes real notice of you entering the first gate. There's too much going on within the village at this point. Shouting, um, you can hear different tonalities. It's a whole mixture. It's really chaotic at this point.
Okay. So what can I see exactly is going on?
So basically, you have a bunch of dwarfs basically starting to roam around. There's like a big well in the middle, right? And what you're seeing is like one general, dwarven general, kind of trying to make itself seen above all everyone else, and his kind of dictating is like everyone, to one side and all this, and then you're seeing other mixed races kind of rush out and help the dwarfs individually, either into a home or towards further back into the city. There's all this commotion going on, as you hear this dwarven general kind of shouting out, "Okay, you guys, you to the back, you over there," and kind of pointing towards someone else within the village. It's like, "Help this man! Can't you see? He's completely lost a limb." So it's complete chaos at this point that the army has found itself in a defeated moment, it seems, and they're trying to find refuge and healers and people to take care of them. Those of them that don't seem so bad, they're just tired, kind of just find themselves sitting on the sidelines, kind of just take a moment, a breath, and taking off, their helmets and stroking their beard from the dust and the sweat. It's chaotic. It is a show of what war truly does to people.
Do I recognize anyone?
Not in the chaos, no. If you
All
want
right.
to make a perception check for me, if you wanted to try to spot someone familiar, you could do so. However, with disadvantage due to the chaos.
All right. Well, I'll try and see if I recognize people.
Sure.
Anyone. So. Oh,
I think you do.
I don't. My first. Yeah.
24.
Yeah, but it's a
One
disadvantage.
second, guys.
Oh,
So it's
okay.
the second roll.
I have a disadvantage, yes.
So it's an 8. Okay. Yeah.
All right, so the chaos, like you're trying to look amongst the chaos, trying to spot a familiar face. All you see is this just armor passing by, and it's really nothing to pick up from at this point. However, you hear this really rough voice call out, "Azazel? Is that you?"
Odd walks up, walks closer to Ennis, and he's looking around. Do I see someone I recognize?
As you're looking into the village, you can't seem to make out where this shout came from. and just as you're looking into the village, you just feel this massive mud just hit you straight into the shoulder, from the side of you. Clearly, it was coming from somewhere else, not within the village.
Raz, you fucker, where are you?
You see this like well-built half-orc, right? Walk up to you, is like, I thought it was you. You still have that funny walk.
You still have that ugly face. How are you, Spinach? And I grab his hand, shoulder, and bring him in for a big hug.
He takes you by the arm and he kind of shoulders you in. And he holds you for a second, kind of looking up and down. It's like, man, or shall I say, devil boy, I haven't seen you in so long, since your 10th birthday. You've disappeared since then.
15 years, man. Life has been
15
chaotic.
years. My. What are you up to? And he kind of looks at your party of, a furbolg, a human and a dwarf. Is like, should I feel a bit jealous here, making new friends?
No one can top you and Biggie. Come on, you've always had a special place in my heart. What's going on here, man? How are you? Are you okay?
It's been weird around here, to be honest with you, Azazel. It's not the same. It's not the same. The dwarves.
See that?
The dwarves have taken refuge here from their civil war. It's not looking good for them, but we're fearing the worst. We want to help them as much as we can, but we want no part of their war. The sooner they heal up, get on their feet, and get going, the better for us.
Yeah, I don't want that type of commotion to this village. What? How about my parents? Where's Beaky? Is everyone alright?
He kind of looks at you the minute you mentioned your parents, and his eyes kind of widen with shock. Your parents? You've not seen them?
No. Why?
I
Are they
thought
not
I
here?
thought you were here to catch up with your old folk. Your parents left just a few days after you've disappeared, looking for you out in the new world. We have not seen them as long as we've not seen you.
It's been rough, man. I was hoping to see them. I really miss them. I miss you, I miss Beaky, but
Oh, Biggie's fine. She's probably out there somewhere, doing her little whatever she does. Druids. She's turned out to be a druid. She's, her
makes sense.
kind-hearted and all that. But
Yeah.
I'm a bit worried. Your parents were meant to find you, and we've not seen them for so. We thought you found a better place after they found you, and
Oh,
to be honest with you, we also expected the worst. But according to a fortune teller that passed by here a couple of months later, said you were doing greater things. Whatever that meant.
honestly, I don't know if she's right or wrong. I lost 10 years of my life that day. I disappeared.
He looks at you
woke up.
funnily as you say you lost 10 years of your life, and it's like,
I just blacked out for 10 years, man. The moment I disappeared, I just woke up 10 years later, gutter, streets.
he kind of takes a step back and he looks at you as you're saying this, and he goes like, that's a fucking long sleep, man. What? I want to say for 10 years I feel so much more refreshed. I mean, it's clearly done you well, as he looks up and down again at you, kind of still not believing how time has passed by. And It's done you well. I should take a 10-year sleep. It does well.
I smack him on the head and I'm like, don't be silly, man. I blacked out. It doesn't mean I was sleeping. Apparently I was doing things. Things I can't remember.
He kind of looks a bit confused. Sleep for 10 years, doing things for... Can you decide, Azazel? You're not making sense anymore.
God, you haven't changed, Raz.
Did
I
that?
love you,
He kind of looks down at the dwarf and go like, "Did that little thing do anything to you? They have a habit of doing things."
No. Don't mind
You know,
this.
I've been trying to keeping you in order, I'd say.
Yeah, he's been quite helpful.
He kind of pulls back a and spits on the floor. It's like, yeah, sure, you keep things in order. Your race has disgraced this village. We were peaceful kinds, and then your kind comes around. I don't know how we're going to end up after all of this. We'll put up a sign in your language saying no dwarves allowed at some point.
We dwarves are doing what was necessary. Okay?
Yeah, killing each other, that's for sure. And he kind of takes a step as he reaches down for his weapon.
Hey,
Was it,
my
you're
hand
not,
on his shoulder. Like, Tess, he's my friend. Come on, chill.
He kind of,
Remember cherry pie. Remember the cherry pie.
oh, cherry pie. I've not had your mother's cherry pies. Well, for 15 years, we kind of established that, yes.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Same.
Okay, back up a moment, back up. And he kind of takes back a bit. It's like, if you're not here to say hello, what are you doing here?
Trying to remember what happened in those 10 years. I've been forcefully indicted into a guild, I'd say, but they're good people. Apparently, I may have pissed off some important people when I was on my 10 years sleep, as you would say.
He kind of starts scratching his head. It's like, I still don't get you, man. I really don't.
You never could get anyone. It's just your character.
Yeah, could be.
Yeah,
Yeah, maybe.
you're one of a kind, Jess. Don't worry about it.
And he kind of like pulls his chest forward. It's like, I'm the only one of a kind.
Yeah, you've grown, man.
More,
Strong.
yes. I took on fighting. I'm a good fighter.
I imagine so. A better fighter than Tinker for sure.
Another voice, this time coming straight from the village entrance, very close by. You hear a dwarven husky voice call out, Draz, where have you been? We need your help. And you see this dwarf, black beards, these bright green eyes come forwards. His armor is actually quite clean compared to what you've seen around you so far. And he has his helmet under his arm, this red cloak pinned to his shoulders, flapping on his back. And as he kind of comes forward, he kind of stops as he notices Ennis.
okay?
Tis Vawir? Tis Vawir, is that you?
Yeah. How are you?
You recognize him, Ennis, as Viglis. Viglis? Am I saying that correctly? Viglis?
Vigdis.
Vigdis. Oh, yes, sorry. My handwriting. Vigdis.
Hey, Vigdis. How have you been?
What are you doing? What are you doing here? I don't understand. This is... He looks at your party of like these weird individuals, and he spots Marion. Is like, and he immediately changes tone. Is like,
It's okay. It's okay. She's fine.
Ennis.
She's fine.
No,
She's
it,
not going to
no.
hurt anyone. She's not going to hurt anyone.
How,
She's been helping.
how
She's been
could,
helping me.
how could you?
She's been helping me.
Helping.
She has no interest in conquering people. She's just a normal human.
She's fucking human.
She's been helping us. She's been helping me.
He kind of like in this belief kind of just looks away from you and just he's walking away from you, he kind of, Draz, we need your help, and he walks away into the crowd of chaos.
Take this.
Draz looks at the scene, and he looks back at you odd, and he's like, well, due to calls, I'll catch you around. Yeah, and he kind of punches you in the shoulder, playfully, as he walks off, with this waddle, right?
He's gotten strong. Whew. Okay. Ennis, who was that?
Okay, so Victus was my mentor. He was the one who trained me, taught me how to fight. He's a good person. The way we view humans is a bit... Humans are a bit of a menace. Not a little. Written in our history, we know humans killed us out. The old lands kicked us out. We're only in this island here because of way humans colonized and took the mainlands. Now they've started to come here, and we're afraid they're going to do it again. The whole civil war is literally based on that, because we don't want humans to colonize again. We don't want what happened, I don't know how many years ago, to happen again. Dwarves are a bit on edge when they see humans. At least my clan. My old clan. The others, they're happy to trade with them, happy to fight them, and they don't care if humans colonize. Just so long as they are capable of getting gold, getting trade, securing peace for their own clan, not for anyone else.
The civil war, is it dwarf clan against dwarf clan? What is it?
It's dwarf clan against dwarf clan. Clan Doldaran against clan Soranat. Our clan thinks humans coming to here is bad news. The other clan, they don't care. They see a good opportunity for trade. If humans get colonized, more for them because they can sell weapons. And they might be able to secure their peace that way. It's been a bloody war.
I'm definitely not welcome here then.
Which is why I said to be careful.
Racism always corrupts the best of people. I'm sure they're not bad, but...
They're not bad people, they're just...
I mean, my village, we were just a whole mix of odd races, and we just all got along. There was none of this silly bickering just because someone's taller than the other. I mean, it's just so silly. If we band together, we can achieve great things. This is just hindering progression.
As you guys stand there and you're going over this discussion, once again you see the black-bearded dwarf come back. This time he has a couple of other dwarves behind him, and he stands at the entrance where you stand, and he points at Ennis and goes like, "Banishment is not enough for you. You are now a traitorous bastard. Arrest him, and we will see you hanged."
Seriously!
And 6 dwarves immediately make their way towards Ennis, ready with chains and cufflinks to arrest him.
Take this. Is this how you've got to treat us? We're friends. This is how you're viewing. This is how poisoned you are. How poisoned your mentality is.
Poisoned!
Can't even look
We've been
past-
kicked out of our homes! And at this point, they've managed to kind of chain you around, and arrest you. And they're waiting for this kind of heated moment to just somehow, not calm down completely, but kind of is enough to start dragging you away on command. I trained you.
My father trained you.
You're like a son to me. He spits in the ground and off with him, and they drag Ennis off into the commotion, and the black-bearded dwarf follows, and he's just cursing Ennis over and over and over, and you hear Ennis's response, and arguments fade into the crowd. Odd, Clomax, and Marin, you're there and you saw all this.
Guys, you think we should follow?
Yeah, we. Is it okay with you, Marin? I mean, you're the.
I'm worried about that they're gonna lynch me or something if I go there.
Yeah.
Okay. I could disguise myself for an hour and we see how that goes.
What if?
Again, if you stay close to us, at least we can help each other out.
I'll get thrown in prison.
I know, crazy idea. What if we try to convince them that this is not really you, that you're trying to hide your real appearance, and then you cast a spell to change your appearance into another race?
Should I just do that now before we go in?
No.
I don't know.
That guy was not very interested in talking.
No.
But it seems to be something akin to all dwarves.
Yeah.
They're a bit hot-tempered.
Yeah.
If I look something like you, Odd, it should be safe, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, I'm going to cast Disguise Self. And I should look more like Odd for an hour.
Okay.
So like a tiefling version of myself.
Okay, a tiefling version of yourself. Cool. All right.
Is there anything I should know about being a tiefling?
I guess just say that you were from this village, maybe? No, there's lessons. Say something.
I just won't talk very much.
Yeah, that's good.
I
Yeah,
can talk to
just
you. Okay.
yeah, just be scared, kind of. Just be like sorry or something. Sorry.
No need to act that. I am petrified right now. Okay.
Okay, good.
Let's follow them before we lose sight of Ennis.
Okay, and we walk in. Okay with you, Slomax?
Yeah. I'm a bit worried about him.
Yeah, I'm very worried about this. I'll go in.
Unfortunately, due to this small discussion, as you're kind of deciding between yourselves what happens, and Marin disguising herself as someone like Odd, you've lost sight of the arrest.
And we not see Drez? Can I see Drez anywhere?
You can roll a perception check. At this point, I won't say disadvantage simply because it's starting to clear up a bit.
Okay.
So now it's just few dwarves kind of picking themselves up and finding their way into the village. Different races slowly just finding things are calming down slower and slower. There's that occasional one-off individual kind of goes around shouting, so it's not completely calm, but it's not as bad as when you guys came here.
He rolled a net one, so.
He rolled on that one.
Oh my god, yes, you see nothing at all. You have no clue. At this point, you're more shocked that, you've wasted time discussing stuff,
Yeah.
and go like, oh shit, we lost him. Like,
Um,
I think they
Guys,
might have just used the old prison. I'm guessing this village had a prison when you were a kid, Odd.
no, we did not have a prison. We were very peaceful. Okay, we remember the biggest building, the main like the main building in our village.
the main building that you remember in your village that was the biggest was the village hall, right? But the layout has changed so much since you've last been here. It's going to be very hard to identify. You could give me a streetwise check if you want to kind of recollect your memory.
What check? Sorry.
Streetwise, I think is still the.
No,
that's
no.
I'm so stuck on 4E. Damn it.
Maybe intelligence
or history.
or history. Yeah.
Yeah, give me a history check. Sure. Let's
Okay.
let's roll with a bit of memory.
Oh wait, yeah, another nat one. Come on. I'm just panicking. Where do we go?
Guys,
As this starts happening, odds really quick. You lost your party member. You're trying to identify where your old friend is. You're trying to recollect your memory, and the first sound you hear in your panic state is "Welcome back."
Oh shit. Guys, something's not right here. I, I heard something I haven't heard since I was 10, the day I got abducted.
same thing with
Sure,
the
anything?
brooch.
It said, "Welcome back," really ominously.
There's something talking to you inside your head.
So, we go in or we go out?
Yeah.
I think it's quite up to you.
Okay. I'm gonna just go to the first dwarf I see. And do I get it? Right?
What? The thing went complete.
Oh, do I see any dwarves around? Can I go ask someone?
Oh yeah, there's plenty of dwarves around. I mean, just pick one.
I pick the most inviting dwarf, and I say,
I guide him before he goes to speak. To
I
boost
say,
him up.
What? Hold on.
ex-
Clomax?
I guide Odd before he goes to speak to boost him up. To help
Okay.
him.
Alright. Sure.
I say, excuse me, could you point me in the direction of the prison, please?
The dwarf that you approached, he's kind of just sharpening his sword, but he's singing at the same time to himself a dwarven tune, you know. And you interrupt him with your little question, and he looks up to you. He's like, "Prison? Ooh.
Yeah.
Red
Or
Hot."
maybe some.
He kind of
maybe some-
looks around. It's like, "There's a prison now? What?"
I honestly don't know. Can you point me somewhere where they might keep held captives, please?
Captives? We take no one alive. If anything, we go ahead and, you can go to the gallows.
Gallows. Okay. Thank you, I guess. And I.
Sure.
What-
And as you walk away, he starts yelling. He's like, "Wait, is there a hanging happening? I want to watch."
No. I'm sure. It's a mild conversation by the gallows. Normal conversation. Sorry. Can you point me in the direction of the gallows?
And he kind of points in kind of a road down, taking you deeper into the village. So guys, we're gonna just go for a quick 5-minute break. Okay, we're gonna be back at 10, and we'll just hang in there, guys. Thanks. And we are back. Hello, everyone. Hello, streamers. So we last left you off with Ennis being dragged by one of his, his mentor, dragged off simply because he found him with another human, which, according to his clan, is a no-no. Odd in the meantime, and Glomex and Marin decide to disguise Marin from being a human into something else, losing the party, dragging Ennis off. Odd is having a bit of a mental breakdown because he's heard something he hasn't heard in a while, and at this point they took directions from another dwarf to find themselves at the gallows, hopefully. Back to you guys.
After you, Odd, and then to the gallows, it seems.
Fast walking to the gallows. Almost a jog.
Tlomax, Marin, are you following?
Yes, yes.
Of course.
So as you rush through the huts, houses, and tents, you kind of don't care about what you're seeing at this point, and you're just making your way to where the dwarf pointed Odd, and you come across a scene where there's a couple of dwarfs standing guard at a particular house, and you kind of see the gallows there with other dwarfs hanging from them, lifeless, just kind of swinging with the breeze, with a note, a wooden plank kind of tied around their neck, written in dwarven. Something is there. You guys don't understand dwarven, so this is illegible to you.
Don't I speak Dwarvish?
You do?
Check.
Yeah, check out the
You know,
languages.
back home there were a whole bunch of dwarves, and I
Is
On
it-
your
is it
character
in-
sheet.
In your character sheets, I don't call you.
I thought I speak Dwarvish and Orc. Yeah, I speak Common, Dwarvish, and Orc.
All right, so Marin, you actually read. The plank actually says traitor in dwarvish.
You were traitors.
Hold on, John. But if they were traitors, does anyone look like Ennis?
No, from what you're seeing, these have been a couple of days there. Their skin,
okay.
their skin is completely like starting to, well, you know, the water is gone from their skin. It's palish blue, so it's starting to take the form of decay slowly.
Oh.
But you have this interesting scene where there is this house, and there's two dwarfs arguing and two other guards kind of just watching the commotion. One of the dwarves is straight up at the face of the other. It's like, "That's my brother in there. He wouldn't do such a thing. You know it, dwarf. Brother or not, he is a traitor. You have seen him with a human. You know what that means. It means nothing. You fucked up man. You have dwarves driven you mad." And they're just going at each other's faces at this point and just arguing.
Dwarvish or in common?
They're speaking in common.
Okay. So we can understand them, but
Yeah.
so Odd and Marin, I think we now know where Ennis is.
And we know
Yeah.
that his brother is there, and it looks like his brother is positive towards Ennis. So maybe we can wait until he walks off and, have a word
Follow-
with him.
The thing is, we don't know his brother's name.
Oh, but we know where he is. We can see him. Just find him, sing it out. But
No.
or should we just walk slowly and try this disguise thing?
I think we should just wait. Act casual.
The commotion is getting more aggressive as the person who claims to be Ennis's brother kind of grabs the man, the other dwarf, by the front of his plate and slams him against the door. It's like, "I want to see my brother, and you won't be hanging him today."
Do
Ennis,
something.
we're going and
The guards have
Okay.
drawn their weapons at this point, kind of ready to fight this dwarf.
we just take advantage of this and go around the back and see if we can break in?
That will just escalate things. That will make them more hostile.
He lets go of the armor and he takes a few steps back. This is what it's turned into. So first, we fight another clan for the sake of our people. And now you turn against your own brethren? People who were the same clan! He kind of hits his arm and clanking on it. The other dwarf kind of like fixing his armor straight. Find your tent. We will discuss this later on. Fine, your brother lives another day. But clear your head. Remember, he's an outsider now. We banned him for the mistakes of lives that you call your brethren. The other dwarf kind of huffs and, murmurs to himself and curses in Dwarvish, man. As he kind of, kicks the dirt as he walks away, looking back from time to time, making sure that door is not opened, and seeing his brother not leave that. The person who arrested him, the mentor, kind of lets out a sigh and shakes his head as he walks in the opposite direction round a couple of, like two houses down, out of sight, leaving just the guards at the entrance of this building.
He turns to the others and says, shall we go talk to the brother before we lose him?
I think that's best.
Yeah.
We already lost one dwarf.
Yeah. We walk towards the brother to try to single them out.
He's startled because he's so, in his own head kind of thing, and he's like, what do you want?
Hi, sorry, we are Ennis's party, the rest of Ennis's party. We just
He grabs you straight by the chest as you say Ennis, and brings you down to his level. His name is Tirshvarnin. You say it right, not Ennis. And he kind of headbutts you back up to your feet.
Okay, sorry. All right, okay, Tishvai. I'm sorry. We're on the same team. We are Ennis's friends. We're trying to help.
Friends? So he got arrested because of you? He kind of looks at the three of you. He's like, where's the human?
Wait. First of all, he got arrested because of that guy that you got angry at.
He got arrested because he was seen with a human.
Yes, but look. She's not really a human. She was under disguise.
He kind of...
We cannot show who she... We should not show who she really is. There's certain reasons for that. We didn't know this would escalate so much, because we would have used another disguise.
Can you give me a bluff check on that?
Persuasion.
Yeah.
A deception?
Deception check.
Natural 20.
Fuck off. What?
Yeah.
Redemption.
So that's two opposites.
Yes.
Alright, so he completely looks at you, he's like, so there's a chance we actually can save my brother since he wasn't with a human.
Yes.
We want always what's best for Tishvaril.
That's not how you say his name, but whatever, I get it.
Although
He-
it
he
might
kind-
be
he kind of-
better. Might be better if the four of us work together to try and sneak him out rather than try to persuade.
No need for sneaking him out. This matter can be easily cleared if you explained what you explained to me to him. He kind of looks over, he's like, the only problem is, I don't know where he went now.
Fucking lost a second dwarf today. Already.
Odd, they might not believe us though. So I don't know if that's really just the way to go about this.
Yeah, but if they find out that we snuck him out, and
Did
that's
they do
that would
this
be
to us
much
again?
worse.
Yeah, sneaking him out in the midst of an army is not.
It's hard.
I
Just
just
get a
want to go,
promotion.
unless we sneak him out and just leave.
Yeah. Even sneaking him out is hard because there's.
Well, we don't really need to sneak him out. We just need to go in.
The dwarf
Oh, yeah.
is looking at you all contemplating. He's like, "Is this what you really do? Talk? Action! Action!" And he kind of turns away and turn around and start walking in the direction where the
The other
house
dwarf.
is, right? To the other guards. And he kind of walks towards them. He's like, you two, as they prepare their weapon ready to kind of like defend themselves. It's like, no need of that, no need of that. Where did the captain go? They both kind of look a bit worried. It's like, we're not telling you. No. We're not telling you anything.
I go behind him and looming on top of him.
This huge fur bulk, right? So you're what, like half giant something, right? And your
Half
bloodline
giant.
just like
Can you please tell us where the captain went?
they look at you like almost can't even look at you in the face, right? Because you're so tall. That way.
Thank you. I look down and say thank you. So we start walking.
They kind of nod their head in gratitude for, like a bit of fear almost. As the dwarf immediately doesn't even take a chance of acknowledging this, he just starts going round where they pointed at. Guys?
Yeah, look.
I'm walking.
If the dwarf is smart, he might figure this out.
Good talk.
We'll all end up on the gallows.
No, we have that thing. We can just teleport.
Yeah. We can leave him.
Without Ennis?
Yeah. We'll come back to that later.
Without Ennis.
I am not leaving him alone, no.
No, we won't leave without Ennis. But
No.
this is our best shot. It's going to be hard. It's going to be hard to sneak out 4 people.
Oh, I
Sneaking
Victus! The Ennis's brother calls out. As the dwarf Victus stops in his tracks as he was walking, this time more paced slowly. He turns around, and he whirls his head over. He's like, "Oh, not you again! I thought we said we were talking in the morning." "Wait, there must have been a misunderstanding. This was a party with him, was it not?" And he kind of looks over as he sees Slomax, this is in view first. It's like, "Aye, that's them. But one of them is missing." The human, I get it. And you guys actually are now in close proximity of each other in discussion. He immediately kind of grabs Odd without even looking, just hearing him pace next to him, grabs him by the front of the shirt and drags him down. It's like, "Tell you what you told me, boy."
Yeah, it's okay. Jeez, take
And
a
he-
minute or something.
Lets you go.
Yeah, okay. I'm sorry. This was all a misunderstanding. We are trying to keep her real identity hidden. But now you kind of blew our cover. We didn't know you were that against humans. It was a mistake taking this form, but we tried to disguise her. Because there are certain reasons that I cannot disclose about her real identity.
Why are you hiding her, maybe?
Saying I can say this stuff. It's... The more people know, the more detrimental it will be to her well-being. Please, try to calm down.
So roll me that famous roll again of trying to deceive him. Yeah. Charisma check, or what was it?
It's a deception.
Yes.
I rolled a 15.
He kind of looks at you, and he looks back at Ennis's brother and is like, "Forgive me. I guess you were right. The war has gotten the best out of me.
It changes the best of men. Ennis, Tishfire spoke very highly of you. Please, let him go.
He strokes his beard and he's like, "Very well." And he walks past you. "Follow me." And he waddles away. And you all make yourself back to the place. Ennis, my friend, unfortunately, you take. Can you reduce 7 from your HP, please?
All right.
As he kind of gets to the entrance of the building and kind of lowers, put your guard down. It's all fine. He opens the door, and the other dwarves are around Ennis, who looks like he took a few punches to the face at this point, in a beating. And Vigdis is a bit shocked by this behavior. It's like, he was supposed to be hung at the gallows, not beaten up. One of the dwarves on the side is like, "Yeah, but we thought we'd have a little bit of fun with a traitor." Vigus kind of immediately makes a quick walk towards him and like straight out punches him and knocks him off his feet, knocked down prone, and looks down on him and spits on him. Is like, "You don't do anything without my consent." Speaking of which, as he turns to the others, let him go. And they all kind of, from the relaxed cross-hand position, kind of all stand up straight. It's like, "What? Let him go. But you just said," "I know what I said. There was a misunderstanding and it's all cleared up. Let him go." And they free you, Ennis. And
Thank you.
you actually see your brother that you've heard outside, and he immediately kind of pushes everyone away and kind of chucks the chains and kicks them aside, and he grabs you into a hug.
Thank you, brother.
This is your eldest brother, by the way. This is, how do you
Thank
say
you,
the
Brynjar.
name? Wait, okay, thank you,
Brynjar.
Brynjar. Okay, dwarven
Thank you,
names.
Brynjar.
He kind of leans in heavier. It's like, "I missed you, brother. I missed you."
I've missed you too.
He pulls away as he kind of holds you by the
Alright.
shoulders, like, and he kind of notices that times have not been well with you, and he points that out. It's like, "Oh, you looked better back in the day, my brother." He kind of smacks you a bit in the cheek, lightly, just away from the bruises that these guards have made onto you, and he holds your face. It's like, "Let's go find the cheapest ale this shithole has and celebrate that you're back." He kind of looks back at Odd as like, "Where's the best place that you can, have a good drink? Not cow's piss, but like something a bit good,
Who I remember me being 10 and all, where would be the best place to get some alcohol?
You have no clue."
I'm sure we'll find something around. This is a very well-kept village.
The guy on the floor kind of getting himself back up, rubbing his cheek from the punch, is like, just 4 houses down, there's a makeshift inn. That'll help you there. I like to drink there a lot. And Vigdis kind of looks down on him. "Ah, you're fucking useful once," and kicks him straight back down. It's like, "What did I say about following orders? Did I tell you to get up?" You guys make yourself out from the building and you find yourself in this makeshift inn. Um, as there's a uh, there's a woman there of elvish race, and she's kind of brewing her own little concoctions and preparing small meals on the side. There's a couple of people already inside. It's a bit of a crowded place because it was a home. So you're counting roughly around like 7 people already there, kind of finding a way to fit in as they're drinking whatever they can get their hands on.
I walk up to the bar and buy a round for everyone.
The elven woman kind of looks at you, and she looks at the party. It's like, there's not enough.
Oh. Okay. Well, I buy. Can I have one mug of ale for Ennis? He badly needs a drink.
She looks over and notices that you probably are talking about the beaten up dwarf, and she kind of nods gently and she pours some ale out of a bigger jug, a wooden jug, and she hands it to you. Um, on the
Pass
house,
it to-
on the house, she says,
Oh, that's very sweet of you.
and she
I
goes
pass it to
she
Ennis.
goes back to what she was doing.
So, Brunei, I assume the war has not been going well.
Not going well. We lost the war, brother. We lost our home to the Doldarum. That's why we're here. Sorry, to the Sorinath. My God. We lost the war to the Sorinath. We lost our home to them. Unfortunately, only us men managed to make it out. Our youngest brother and sister, they're still captive, and so is your wife and
Oh, my
children.
parents. Oh, where are Espion? Where's Gudrun there?
They're safe, brother. They're citizens. They're not harmed, but they're not allowed to leave the city. He kind of
What I
puts
was doing.
he puts a hand on your shoulder. Almost tears start to build up in his eyes. He's like, but Inar died. Our brother died.
So, Ennis is kind of shocked, I guess, from this.
He fought well, brother. He kind of shakes you as tears are starting to fall his dirty cheeks. He fought well. I promise he fought well.
Let's hope it's worth it. Feeling it's not.
At this
Tell
point,
more.
seeing you get all emotional, he himself can't compose himself, and he just breaks down. You guys have never seen a dwarf cry, but it's a freaking ugly scene. Just this, jumping up and down with tears, and
Sorry, Ennis.
It's fine. It's fine.
At least, the rest of your family is alive and is safe.
Yeah. Half of them's captive.
Yeah, but
Well, that's something else to the checklist.
Yeah. Kids are growing up prisoners, for fuck's sake.
your brother's still sobbing heavily, and he's kind of wiping his snot and tears into his arm, and
I give him a hug.
he embraces you
I
strongly,
try
and
to.
he just breaks down crying more and more.
Yeah, I'm crying too as well. At this point.
I pull out my bottle of whiskey and just place it on the counter near Ennis and say nothing. Just leave it there.
So what are we gonna do?
With your question, your brother kind of leans back quick. He looks straight dead in the eye at you. He's like, "We're gonna get them back. We're gonna get them back. That's what we're gonna do. They're going to pay for what they've done to us, for what they've done to my brother, your brother, our brother." As he's squeezing you tighter, filled with emotion.
No, let's break them out. We can't break them out alone, though.
No, we will rally. We will recuperate, and we will rally back to our city and take it back from those Sorinata.
What do you guys think? Don't. It's not your war.
It's not our
Don't trip, you know.
not our war, but seems to be our war.
If they're your people, there are people too. We'll help you.
Thank you.
But maybe a little more subtle than this plan, because I don't think we'll manage to defeat a whole city.
Yeah.
We're gonna need an army for that. We're
could
not gonna
break them
take down
out.
a city on our own.
We could break them out, bring them back to the guild, be protected there.
Brynjar kind of notices the whiskey on the side, and he grabs it and he starts chucking it down.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
We can't promise you vengeance, but we
Yeah.
can try and get them back.
At least we can try that.
I'm not really interested in war. I'm not really interested in genocide.
You hear the voices on it.
I think you're right, Odd.
Am I the only one hearing laughter?
Seems to be the case.
Oh shit.
Hear anything?
I think you need to escape it more than they do.
I grab the whiskey from Brynjar's hand and take it.
He was kind of almost finished, and you go like, "Hey!"
Take a gulp.
Odd's been hearing these voices.
You're a madman?
No, I'm not a
Okay.
mad.
He's a mad tiefling.
I'm not a mad tiefling, Clomax, and I punch him on the shoulder, like, lightly. It's hard to explain. When I used to live here a few years ago, and I was in the forest nearby. I was 10 years old, and I was just following these pages. They were just sitting there. Every time I grabbed a page, you could see an arrow pointed to the next page.
Dwarf is completely looking confused at you. He's like,
I just noticed the dwarf, and I'm like, it's complicated. It's
"You lot are a very complicated lot." He kind of looks at you, back at Ennis. Is like, "I mean, I know life is tough, and especially as an exile, but really, this lot?"
They're worth their salt. Very much worth their salt.
Yeah.
everyone's got their baggage, and I brought whiskey.
The one good thing, it seems. Oh well, make it a second. You saved my brother.
See?
The day is coming to its darkest moments as the sun sets on the village.
Yeah, I need recast this guy's self every hour. So how long has it been?
You are already 40 minutes in.
Okay,
Okay, that's not a bad.
I'll just recast when the hour is up.
Should we? Can we find lodgings here at the inn? I ask what as Tishvair's brother, friend.
I think we should ask the barmaid.
Yeah, actually, the barmaid eavesdrops on all of this, minds her own business. But the minute she kind of hears lodging, she's like, quickly kind of reaches out to you. She's like, I have a few beds to spare. But this time I will ask payment.
That's fine. That's absolutely fine. How much is your rate?
Anything you can give, honestly, it would be enough. A couple of silvers will do.
I give her a gold piece.
She kind of looks at the gold pieces like, for all of you, yes?
Is that enough?
She kind of smiles, this really gentle elvish smile, and she's like, you are a generous being. And she kind of looks at you, it's like, you remind me of someone.
What is your name?
She looks back down at the golden coin and she grasps it in her hand. It's like, I need to go to bed now. I'm gonna clean up and close up. You find yourself to the cellar. It's a makeshift quarters at this point. But please find any bed you guys like. And she kind of looks up at Clomax, who's kind of like hunched. She's like, in your case 3. and she kind of puts the gold coin in her apron pocket, and she's like, good night for now, and she goes back to her chores.
Was weird.
Quite.
Shall we go to our room? I think we need to talk.
Yes, for sure.
Your brother says like, I need to head back to the tent, if you don't mind. I need to clean up for tomorrow.
You do that. See you tomorrow, brother.
He kind of quickly grabs you by the shoulder and pushes you in and wraps his hand around you and embraces you. He's like, I will see you tomorrow, brother. And we shall start our revenge. He pulls you away and locks eyes with you.
We'll get them out.
Yes. He swiftly turns around and exits the makeshift inn.
Thank you guys for everything.
Sure, you do the same for us.
Yeah, it would have been different without you.
Maybe you can forgive him for the armor now.
Fine.
Had to bring it up.
You can keep the armor.
It will
Might
help us
be
for
this.
sure.
I might need it. Anyway.
As you guys walk down into the makeshift quarters, there's a give or take from the count, you can make out roughly around 14 beds. It's quiet, it's unoccupied. She clearly needed to do this to make some form of income. So the whole place is yours for the evening, for the night.
Before DM, before we start, do I remember any? Was that a half elf or a pure elf?
No, she was a pure elf.
Do I remember any pure elves? Like, how old was she? Could I maybe piece it together?
Unfortunately not.
Right. Okay. I turn to the others and I say, as I was saying before,
I'm in fact quite intrigued on those pages you mentioned.
Yeah, you see, when I was young, a good friend of mine gave me a journal. I used to just write everything down. This journal was my most prized possession. I still have it on me to this day. My only possession from back then. And I was in the woods once, and I kept seeing these pages I mentioned before. And after a few minutes following these pages, I picked up this last page, had an arrow pointing right towards me. Then I heard this.
You heard me.
Is it happening again?
Okay, if we're going to sleep, you guys are gonna have to tie me up. I know this is weird. I know this is so creepy.
If he's being so jar, I'll just quickly cast detect magic. See if at least we can, if there's anything magical around us. Maybe there's something that we could possibly see.
So you cast detect magic in your area, and you close your eyes for a moment, sensing the surroundings as nothing really comes back to you. The one magical item that you do sense is Mirren's blue little crystal of teleportation, which you know of already. Other than that, no real magical items
Not
are
big
around you.
magic. At least
If we take a look at that journal, do you mind?
at the
The journal.
Yeah, I fished the journal out of my backpack,
Okay.
and I flipped through the pages.
What's in the pages, odds?
It's basically it's basically just the first quarter of the journal is me being young, me describing shenanigans I used to come up with my old two friends, sorry, and basically stuff that used to happen in the town. And then after that quarter, it's me 10 years later describing the event that are happening to me. Odd used it to keep himself grounded, keep himself sane, because he couldn't talk about this stuff with anyone. He was finding it hard to trust.
So you're basically flipping the pages and showing them what you wrote. Do you trust anyone with this journal, by the way? Or is it just in your hand and just showing them what you wrote?
It was just in my hand.
Just in your hand. And as you're describing, like, okay, this is as far as I went when I was so many years old. And as you flip the page over to the part that now is 10 years later from the last entry point of when you were young, you see that the rest of the pages are filled with blood and just like crimson blood, and there's just the ink underneath is covered just like, and it's almost starting to drip blood at this point. Only you see this. The rest of the party is just seeing writings and writings as you're just flipping the pages frenetically and looking at your hands that you're seeing in blood at this point.
I drop the journal and I take a step back. I don't know how the blood got there.
What blood?
What blood?
I look at my hands. Are they still covered in blood?
No, they're not.
You were hearing voices that no one else can hear. Now you're seeing things no one else can see. Could it be something to do with the journal itself? What do you think, guys?
I don't understand. You're the one who understands magic here.
Not that well, evidently. I'm wondering maybe the journal could be part of the problem, since it's something that he used before everything went weird.
I
Where did it come from? How did you get hold of it out here?
Yeah, who gave it to you?
Marion, as you say this, your image turns back to your natural form.
I'm gonna How safe are we down here? Do you think other people are going to come in and use this room?
If they come in, we'll get to that. But
If they come in, we'll tell them that you put your disguise up.
Ah, yeah, there was the reason we kept you around. Okay.
I pinch Marin
Oh,
a bit hard, and I say, "You have to trust me more, okay?"
well,
I
it's a
got
little
us out of that. I got
difficult.
Ennis out.
You
Sorry?
have. It's a little bit difficult to trust you right now because you're seeing and hearing things no one else can.
Valid point. Okay.
I'm sorry, but it's a little bit weird at the moment.
Oh no,
Do you remember where you got the journal from?
yeah, one of my friends gave it to me. Vicky, Eric. She's an art cocker. She was a kid. She honestly, I don't know where she got the journal from. She must have made it herself.
Does it look like a 10-year-old made that journal?
Does it look like a 10-year-old made that journal? DM.
The way the pages are kind of sewed together and the leather around it, it's very, um, it's very loosened, but it's still intact. So it's definitely not a journal you would buy from a shop. Clearly, it was handcrafted. And you would, odds, you kind of knew this already, so to speak, but seeing that it's been on you for so long and due to wear and tear, it's come to a point where you have to really take care of it before it kind of falls apart.
No, she definitely made it.
She's a druid, right?
Well, now, yeah. Back then, she was just an 8-year-old.
How often have you been hearing these voices recently, specifically?
The Countess gave me some images, but I chopped that
so getting
down to a situation.
in contact with the brooch gave you were hearing stuff. Getting in contact with making contact with this journal is you're hearing stuff also.
But is it the journal or the place?
I think it's the place. I haven't heard these voices for a long time. They started again when I got here.
Do you think we should find the druid then?
I'd love to see Vicky. I don't know how much she can help, but
She can't help, she can't help.
sorry, Don, but
She
You
can't
cut off.
help, she can't help, she can't help.
I fuck this voice, man. Maybe coming here wasn't a good idea. It's telling me that she can't help, and I'm alone.
Yeah.
You've got us.
No.
Fuck you.
Okay.
I'll kill you when I have the chance.
Sorry?
No, I'm sorry. I'm talking to the voice. It's telling me. It's
Truths. Azazel. You start getting a big migraine from all of this, or it's coming to the point where it's overwhelming. Can you
Sit down on the bed.
can you give me a will save really quick?
wisdom check, wisdom saving throw.
A will, yeah.
Yeah, okay. It's a 7.
You faint straight off the bat.
Hold on.
And so you see Odds kind of just rubbing his head and just shaking, and he's talking to himself, and you're seeing this, and all of a sudden just like his eyes turn to the back of his head as he collapses straight to the ground.
Once
So-
I see him down, I think I'll go to check if he's all okay.
Oh yeah, he's breathing. He's motionless at this point. Alive.
I grab him and shake him.
You. So what? Sorry, you just
I
got
grab him and shake him.
no response.
Think he needs healing, or do you think it's best to leave him like this for a while?
I doubt that he's diseased, so
Then maybe,
at least the
Maybe-
healing won't
I
make
think
it
that's
worse.
COVID. New side effects of COVID.
maybe while he's unconscious, so this thing will leave him alone for a little bit.
Um,
Best to be careful. Prop him up on a bed. Prop him up on yeah, I prop him up on a bed.
today I cannot do much, but tomorrow maybe we can see if there's something evil about him.
Alright.
About him.
Well, not about him, about the area.
Maybe his old friend will remember something about the time he was taken. Maybe she saw or heard something before or after he left.
I
Okay.
think Twiggy is someone we need to talk to.
Okay. Let's
Sorry. You just call her Twiggy.
Yes.
Cool. Okay. Sorry.
The druid.
And what was her name then?
Odd will tell you when he wakes up.
Okay. I heard
For now it's
Twiggy.
Twiggy. For now it's Twiggy. I love that.
so
Should we, I
Tomorrow,
guess, just stay here for the night and
Yeah,
not
overnight.
venture out
Okay.
in the morning?
I think it's might be safer in here than going out there. We don't know exactly what we're gonna find.
Yeah. On a note of staying here, for you, Ennis. Tomorrow, your brother.
Uh-huh.
So the idea is to rally up the army and go back home, get the people out, or not tomorrow.
Probably not gonna be tomorrow. You're not gonna rally an army
One
to
day, yeah.
fight a city in just a day.
Okay, no, just checking. We have time.
No. It takes a while. You need siege towers. You need to be able to launch and quite an assault to take down a city.
I'm not
True.
that conversant in that kind of warfare or any kind of warfare.
Yeah. It will
Okay.
take a while. So we have time.
Well, we need to get your family out before that happens, because if that happens, they're going to be at more risk of being killed. This
So,
isn't going to end until one side is slaughtered.
so we try and covert stealth into your homeland and get them out.
You're trying. Okay, what you're asking is you try and break in a dwarven hold, probably expecting an invasion, probably expecting an assault anytime soon from the dwarves that managed to escape. To break in, to go in, break in a couple of people with a number, and break out.
Well, no, don't really need to break out. You just need to break in.
Yeah, we're not gonna stay there.
No, but we've got the crystal, so
Yeah, but
I'm not sure how many people the crystal can handle the transport.
yeah.
Okay.
But we
Oh.
we could do something else, like maybe negotiate ourselves with for your family, something. I mean, what's the other option? We're just 4 more soldiers in an army.
I don't know. Okay, best we sleep. Give it a rest. and discuss it later. It's a lot. I don't know.
And as you guys kind of tuck yourselves in bed, Clomax kind of pushes two beds against each other to make, against one bed in the middle, making three for him to sleep across all three of them. And you kind of, even the quarter beds are more comfortable than these, but these will do for the time being.
You have to do.
And we're going to head into a quick 5-minute break. So at 5 to 11, we will be back for the last hour segment. Stay around, guys.
See
See
you.
you.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. So, quite an emotional roller coaster there. As our party has had a very restful sleep, long rest. Ennis, recover your hit points, by the way.
Yep.
The bruises are not so bad this morning. It's kind of dark down here as you all kind of wake up and start putting on your gear. Odds. You have no recollection how you got into bed or what happened prior to that. Journal is still on the floor, by the way. However, you guys hear commotion happening above you, people starting to move fast, and there's a whole commotion going on outside above you, voices muttering, and crowds starting to echo through the makeshift quarters you have.
Okay.
I walk over to my journal and touch it.
Oh, it's fine. It's just as you properly remember it, not without the chaos of blood and all that. That's fine.
I close it, put it back in my backpack slowly, carefully. Okay. Is there a window by any chance?
No, because this was originally a cellar, so
Okay.
hence why it's so dark. What was lighting the bedroom has been put out at this point. So you guys are waking up just with your just kind of see from the little light that's coming from the stairs above, and where all the noise is coming from.
Okay, so
I
what's the game plan? We find my friend?
Yeah.
I want to check the commotion, see what's going on.
Yeah.
It's not like we can go out from somewhere else. So
Yeah.
I'm going
Yes,
to
what's
cast
happening?
disguise stealth before we leave the cellar. And look like I did yesterday.
Okay.
what-
So you guys
Is it
head
gonna wear
out,
off?
yeah?
Yeah, we check what's happening upstairs.
So Marin, you disguise yourself once more and you put on your gear and quickly head upstairs to the commotion. You're just seeing people just rush by, dwarves kind of lined up in their own little set of 4s and 5s down. Different races of the village start running down towards the entrance of the village. What do you do?
Is the barmaid in the house or
No, she is not in the house.
okay? Odd, you want to pull one of the villagers to the side, see what's happening?
Yeah. The villagers are going to the sides or the dwarves?
The dwarves are
Yeah.
lined up. The villagers are running to the entrance. Yes.
No, so basically you have the dwarves kind of marching towards the entrance, but as they have some form of formation between them, a bit not a proper formation, but you have small lines of 4s or 5s with spaces between them, kind of marching down. Villagers kind of running between them and down faster than dwarves and they're all heading towards the same direction, which is the entrance of the village.
Let's go see what's going on.
Let's go to the entrance. Sure. Yes.
Okay,
I
with you,
go to
Marin?
one of the dwarves, and I ask what's going on.
So you grab. How do you do this?
So, I'm assuming this is the army. Essentially speaking, I kind of grab one of the soldier and grab one by the shoulder and ask, what's exactly going on here?
All right. So can you give me a strength check to pull him out of his formation? Because he's kind of moving.
Not pull him off formation, but pull him a bit so that kind of grab his attention.
So you're kind of walking with him, as with a
Yeah.
march. So in the commotion, you hear, and hey, what's going on? He looks at you, still marching with purpose. Traitors at the gate.
Okay. So I try and rush forward to see what.
All right.
I go
So
upstairs.
yeah, we follow.
All right, so you guys as a party kind of just rush together at this point, pause everything. At this point, the entrance of the village is very much heavily populated with people. The armies at this point have a proper formation now of three lines made up of like five dwarfs with rows, and it's a proper formation that's there. Villagers are kind of scattered between them, trying to find their place. A few screams, as they're trying to. Some dwarves are pushing them aside of the square. And you have dwarven archers at the top of the first, not the first, sorry, the second inner part of the wall, standing on the top, crossbows at the ready down. But this is the first time you're seeing the gates closed, by the way. So, and despite all the commotion, you hear from beyond the walls a voice kind of shouting out towards the village.
I make out what he's saying.
You can give me a persuasion check to see if you can actually hear what's going on.
Can I?
It's a 16.
16. He's speaking in dwarvish, so you can't really make out what he's saying. So you recognize it's like, okay, not common, so definitely dwarvish.
You hear this, Ennis?
Yeah,
I think it may be Dwarvish.
That's a 22.
Yeah, 22. So basically, you from despite the noise, you can actually hear out in dwarfish being said, "Come one with us now, or else we will set the village ablaze and finish off what we started. Surrender open gates and come with us in peace and join our alliance. Siranath only wants what is best for our people."
Okay. So, I inform the clan. I inform my party, exactly speaking. So, Sarnath is the soldiers from Clan Sarnath are at the gates. We might be expecting a fight here.
Why?
Is there
We
anything
need to
we can
protect the
do
village.
to try and
Yes, no. If the
clan
fight comes to us,
inside?
we fight back.
Yeah.
Is there something we can do to persuade the leaders of this clan to accept the
Can we
alliance?
possibly go atop the walls?
You can.
Asking
Yeah, you can.
okay. Trying to
Marin?
accept the leaders of the clan to accept the alliance isn't gonna go well.
No. Marin, you want to go on atop the wall?
Sure.
At least we can get a better vantage point from there.
Tromax.
Yeah.
You can conjure up stuff like storms, right? You can.
I can make a fog if you want to.
Okay. I need to think. What can you do to try and scare them away? Show
I can make loud noises.
loud noises. I mean, yeah, loud noises could possibly work, but thinking more.
Thunder noises.
What are dwarves scared of?
Not necessarily scared of. The idea is to imply that there's something much, much more powerful. That
Oh, no.
to
Like a
kind of
dragon?
dissuade an attack.
That one... No, that one I cannot do.
You make like a dragon roaring?
No, I don't have thaumaturgy.
I
I-
can make sounds.
You
I
don't.
can make sounds that last for a
I do.
minute. I have to be.
Oh, yes, you do.
I have to be within 30 feet of where the sound is coming from. I can't just make it sound like it's coming from far away.
No, but Odd can shout and make his voice be
3
different.
times as loud.
Yes.
Can create instantaneous sounds that originates from a point of my choice.
"Show them that we are not afraid," you hear a dwarf within your village shout. "Bash sword against shield." And the formation now is like deafening. The sound is so deafening because where you stand, that you at this point you can't hear what the other person outside of the city is saying, and you can barely hear each other talk at this point either.
Let's go on the wall. Let's see
At least
what
we can see
the
outside.
damage. Yeah,
Alright.
let's see the damage.
Ennis, Lomax, and Marion, please roll perceptions to make sure you heard Odd.
Okay.
No.
11. Yeah, that's 11.
I didn't hear odd.
No,
Yeah, he rolled a 7.
no.
I'm having trouble getting it.
I rolled a 1. I didn't roll
Oh.
I got a 7.
Okay, so I do like this. Us, like wall, wall.
All right, so the party comprehends your funny
Odd starts
gestures.
If odd starts moving out, I would be following.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So you make yourselves, this deafening as you kind of go past the formation and find yourself next to the stairs that lead up to the wall next to the archers. So at this point, as you kind of gaze, you see that the front wall has been breached, right? Completely, almost, just not even a form of a wall is left, with all the pieces of large wood scattered around, and there's just 4 dwarfs, and one of them wielding 2 axes, which Ennis, you recognize as Nyal.
Yeah. What are you doing with Surinat?
This, I can send messages
He looks
to people.
up and his eyes widen and he points his axe up and he smiles and nods and he kind of gestures his hand like, come down,
These are.
So
Sorry,
there
these
are,
are.
there are only 4 dwarves.
Only 4 dwarves.
Then why did I say 4 yesterday? Why did I say 3 or 1?
Okay. I'm not coming down, yeah. What is going on?
Nyal shouts back at you. Can you make me a perception check to... You're speaking common or dwarvish, by the way?
I think at this point, a dwarvish.
Okay. Can you give me a perception check to see if you can hear what Nyal's saying from all the behind you?
17.
17, yes, you hear out. He raises his axes and he's turning around to his fellow 3 other dwarfs. He's like, "It looks like we stand a chance of peace." And he turns back. "Ennis! Glad to see you. Maybe you can talk some sense into your kin, into the man. Tell them this is the way."
I don't think it's possible to convince them to just drop the war. Not after so much bloodshed.
Nyal is a bit disappointed with your answer, and he lowers his axes. Is like, "Then we will return with sieges."
Wait. Yeah. They killed my brother. They have my family.
Nyal laughs, and can you roll another perception check to make sure you hear what he says next?
Yeah. 21.
You hear him loud and clear. "I know. and he points the axe towards his throat and makes a gesture of decapitation. It's like, I killed him.
You did what?
He laughs loudly. They didn't tell you in there.
We're friends, yeah.
Were. You've been missing. Exiled. This is what they do because you side with them. I give you chance to join us.
And do what? Fight my brother? Fight my parents?
No, declare peace. And we shall, as one, negotiate with the humans.
Don't think you know how little power I have here.
Well,
I
you are there, he points both axes towards you. Which means you've been accepted somehow.
very barely accepted.
He can't hear you over the now. It's getting louder and louder and deafening. Your voice can't have it in. He looks up and he gives his back towards the city and the village. Sorry, and he gestures to his men to walk away. And they start moving away, which you immediately initiate the thoughts. It's like, oh, they're coming back with siege weapons.
Should we follow?
No, we should need to inform them. We need them to get ready.
So,
As
for what?
as they're walking further away in the distance at this point, the archers kind of lower their guards, and it's kind of a chain reaction. They lower their guards. The whole sword against shields starts to quiet down, and it's silence for a moment.
Yes, maybe you can get your old
Yeah.
mentor to talk to Niall. Maybe this is an opportunity for a conversation that's never happened before.
I need to talk to Brunier first.
You get Niall to stay.
No,
Yeah,
talk
yeah,
to
left.
Brunier, my brother, first.
Talk to me about what? As you see your brother kind of climb up the stairs. That was close.
Hi, bro.
They're coming back with weapons, siege weapons. It's gonna be another war, another fight, another battle.
You guys need to leave my village.
It's
You're
one.
going to get everyone killed.
What to do? What are we to do?
Your
This is not our
horned,
war. Sorry.
your horned friend is right. Too much innocent blood here. Best we move out. I'll inform Vigdis about this. He's taking charge. And he kind of turns his back towards you and starts making his way back down the stairs he came up from.
Thank you, Brynja. It's much appreciated.
The formation starts to break up down in the village, and murmurs now are starting to rise as a sound from below. You're still at the wall. The archers are starting to slowly line up down the stairs, except for every fifth archer still stands guard.
And Niall is still close enough. We might be able to catch up with him.
Yeah, we can try and convince them to open the door for us.
We can. I can help us to land safely off the wall if it's not all that is not too tall.
That can be applied to your spell can apply to how many people? Featherfall?
For the first 6.
For 6.
Use up to 5 falling creatures within range.
All right.
Right.
What do you think? You follow?
Okay.
If the other clan was willing to accept Nyal, they might be willing to accept you. You can talk your way in. I know that you're all about vengeance, but sometimes
Not
you have to see what's more
just
important.
You just hear the nearest archer dwarf just kind of spit down at your comment.
okay.
No,
Not necessarily vengeance. We might be able to take Niall prisoner. And that might actually be better at this point.
it might get everyone in that clan to come here and trying to break him out. I don't think they'll.
They're already gonna do that with the siege weapons.
Yeah, but I don't think one dwarf is be a good bargaining chip.
No, but
But
to
at
make it
least-
it might get information.
Yes, and at
Yes,
least he's not
that's
going
true.
back to inform the village, to form the other dwarves.
Can we not bring him into the village? So that's just gonna get people knocking here. I can't accept this village turning to dust. They're just innocent people. We're a quiet tribe.
You
it's
hear
not-
from below, once again, a familiar voice. That was a close one. You turn around and you see Draz there with his great swords, resting at the back on his shoulder as he looks up to you guys. It's like, I don't know what you guys said, but it surely worked to drive them away.
Not for long, Draz. They're gonna get reinforcements. We need to get the dwarves out of here. Or negotiate some kind of treaty.
What? Azazel, what are you talking about, man? This is, like, you saw everyone's dismembered here. It's fine. We're okay. We can open the doors again, no?
It is not fine, Draz. It is not fine. This is serious.
He looks at you very cluelessly. He's like, what does that mean?
Means we either get these dwarves out of here, or we're all going to war.
Shall we go take a walk outside all together? And talk?
Sure.
Does Draz know where Beaky is?
Yes, we need to.
We need to talk to Beaky.
Beaky hasn't showed. He kind of like puts down the great axe and straight into the ground, and he crosses his hands. Beaky's not been around for 2 days now. She must be doing her little nature stuff still. As he looks,
Let's go look for
he
her.
looks up, kind of indicating over the wall towards the east.
And which route did Niall take?
Niall kept going further. I mean, the road kind of twists towards the west.
Okay.
So
Well-
somewhere else.
I think I think Niall is a higher priority if we're going to go after.
Oh, I fully agree. Biggie's just nuts.
She's not nuts. Beaky's amazing.
It's been 15 years, brother. I assure you. It's just a bit nuts.
Really?
Oh, yeah. He laughs and he kind of unfolds his arms as he picks out the greatsword and puts it back on his shoulders. Like, well, if you need me, I'm going to get myself cleaned up from this mess. And he kind of starts walking away.
See you, Draz.
See ya! He kind of waves with the other arm back towards you.
I miss that guy.
You see
We go
Brinier.
capture Niall.
You see Brinier and Vigdis kind of come into sight as they cross Draz, and they're kind of discussing loudly between them. And they come close, And Vigdis kind of looks up at you, Ennis, and he's like, "So, what's the plan?"
What do you mean, what's the plan?
You've changed your tune.
He looks at all four of you, he's like, "Well, yeah, you had courage enough to go up there and talk to Njal. We were just waiting defensively to, counterattack. We don't negotiate with traitors."
Yes, I noticed.
First things first, we need to keep this village safe. These villagers are not part of your war.
Yeah,
I agree.
okay.
What input do you have? What do you think we should do?
How many soldiers strong are we here? Like this.
Not much. What about, give or take, 600 to 700 if you don't include the injured?
What about them?
No, they're thousands.
The dead are thousands. Injured, you've got another 300. Maybe
Surinat. I'm assuming he's asking about Surinat.
Yeah,
Oh, I'm sorry.
it's okay. We're all stressed out here.
Indeed. And he kind of flips open a map. He leans towards your brother, Ennis, and he's like, "Look, the way we can do this is we can take the back route and go into this forest right here. We should have enough tree cover. This way we leave these people in peace." Yes, but carrying all the equipment and all the injured, I don't think we're gonna make it in time. Siege weapons can take days before they arrive on site. I'm pretty sure we stand a good chance if we just grab everything right now and start making our way.
Alright. That would be good. Do we have any siege weapons of our own?
Victus laughs. Siege weapons, right. Come on, boy. Did you see any siege weapons around?
No.
Exactly. Not easy to hide those things, especially in a small village like this.
So you're going to enter from the back?
No, we can exit from the back, go to the forest.
Oh,
But
the back of the village.
It's gonna be a war, a fight, and it's gonna be devastating unless we can get something more strategic.
Victus looks at you and is like, "Listen, last time we took advice from you, many fell. I'm in charge here," as he kind of like hits his breastplate. "You're still an outcast." He turns to your brother and is like, "Look, gather the men and start passing the word. We march at midday. Anyone who stays behind is a dead man." He rolls up the map and places it back to his side. It's like, "As for you, you make your own way." And he turns his back towards you and he walks off, leaving your brother there, kind of like silent, just looking seriously at everyone. Looks back up to you. "Looks like we're going to have to part again, brother."
We see each other soon. I promise you that.
"May our paths cross sooner than last."
Definitely.
He turns around slowly, head kind of tilted down, and starts waddling away. And that's kind of under his eyes, first sight of a dwarf or so. It's like, "You start packing! Come on! We gotta move! Pass the word!" And dwarves are starting to grab their things and kind of holding them, following behind.
Ennis, this other clan, will they leave? Will they leave the village alone?
Oh, I hope so. It's not exactly easy to tell. It's fortified right now. They might decide to occupy it themselves.
It's not good either.
There might not be bloodshed.
I hope so. Should we put up signs or something? Shut up. Sorry,
All right.
it's happening
We
again.
need to get whatever you've got going on fixed.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, shall we head out to find Biggie? I mean Eric.
You think she can help you?
I don't know. I haven't been here for 15 years, but
She made the book, yes?
she made the book,
So
and she's a druid.
you can get some insight on the book at least.
Yeah.
Max, you're
Yeah.
going to cast detect even good, right?
Yeah, but
You want?
I don't think
Just-
it will make much of a difference because it will let me know if there are any fiends close by.
Yeah, it doesn't work like that, Dennis. Sorry.
I thought it might have been something better, but yeah.
All right. So we go find BP, I guess.
Let's try to avoid like violent words. So that seems to be a trigger of this kind of asshole that's running around in my head.
So no words like kill, violence.
Shut up! Shut up! Stop, please. Do you want to carry me?
I want to go.
That's-
Blood.
No, milk, rainbows, unicorns, whatever.
Weak.
I'll show you weak.
Weak.
Odds tail.
He's coming.
Did he say he? Okay, Odds tail is like digging into his neck really hard. He's trying to like calm himself down with the pain. Is it working?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wipes off the blood.
Oh no, you didn't draw any blood. Don't worry about it.
Okay. Good. Lomax, unicorns, milk, shit like that, okay? Let's keep it PG.
Corn and milk. Okay.
Yeah. We head off.
Sure.
After you.
You hear the dwarf who spat first due to Marin's comment, and he's like, "Oh, good riddance," under his breath.
Right back at you. Keep walking.
Just don't.
Sorry, it's been a stressful day.
I get it.
So
Stressful for everyone.
you head down from the elevation, and you exit the village at this point.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Into the village, head east.
All right. So you make your, kind of climb over the logs of what was a wall, and you start heading outwards, heading towards the eastern side of the plain, through some fields and farms, and eventually into woodland. As you head deeper and deeper in, you're not sure where you're going at this point. Can you give me a perception check really quick?
Right?
Marin, you too, please. Actually.
I rolled a 7.
Okay. Sorry?
14?
14. All right, so as you're kind of walking through this wooded area at this point, like odds, you hear this fluttering, and as you kind of look, you see the parchment with an arrow. You kind of grab Mirren, who's next to you, kind of pointing at it, and Mirren doesn't see anything there, and this parchment in your vision kind of flutters and kind of releases itself from the bark and flies off.
I saw another parchment. The ones I saw before I got kidnapped.
Marin, your transformation at this point dissolves. Your trickery of illusion dissolves upon you revealing your true self again.
Which is?
Marin. Yeah.
Mine.
Okay,
No longer tiefling.
well, yesterday we were saying that she was not a human.
She's the BBG all along.
Ennis
I don't
Clomax,
see any
you
problem.
notice that Odd and Marin have stopped foot.
Odd. So, you've seen something, it seems, or
Yeah.
what's happening?
Yeah, I saw another parchment. Like the ones when I got kidnapped. DM, do I remember if I was on this side?
Yes, you were.
Think we should follow?
I was in these surroundings when I got kidnapped, so guard up.
That way.
You saw red
It's-
eyes?
I saw red eyes, and it was like a void, this darkness, these two big red glowing circles.
Darkness.
What? Sorry?
Blackness, darkness.
Let's keep our guard up. Whatever it is that's affecting me is close. I'm scared that maybe Eric either is involved or
Control?
something worse. Maybe she isn't and she's in danger.
Maybe dead.
After you.
Give me a moment. I try to still myself. I get out the whiskey. Just take a sip. I don't. Is there any whiskey left? DM.
Actually, no, there isn't. You left it behind. Sorry, it's a good thing you pointed that out. And nothing to soothe you, unfortunately.
I think I have wine left.
Okay, sure. Yes,
I take a swig of the wine. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go after this imaginary parchment. Guys, keep your guard up, and
Alright.
I'm going to keep 5 feet away from anyone else, just in case something takes a hold of it. Just 5 feet.
You're in front, we're close behind.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be
gotcha.
right behind you.
Thanks, Ennis. Yeah.
All right.
I'm gonna cast mage armor on myself just in case
Smart.
after last time.
So, with Odd taking the lead, trying to remember where the parchment in his head kind of flew off to, you follow him down further and further into the woodland. And at this point, the woodland kind of stops completely into an open void. And just a couple of feet away, give or take like 40-60 feet away, there is a makeshift tent, and you see this large bird-like humanoids kind of yapping away at something as she's crouched over.
Eric, Biggie.
The figure stands up and immediately Beak turns round towards you, and she calls back. It's like, "Who goes there?"
Hazel, little devil boy. It's been a while.
She kind of stumbles over back and kind of starts moving away from you closer to her tent. It's like, stay back, you! Stay back! And you notice that she's really frightened of you for some reason.
Wait. Please. Whatever I did, that wasn't me.
She doesn't give you a chance. She does some weird wavy movement with her arm, and all of a sudden these vines collide around you and kind of hold you still in place.
Eric, please. I'm not going to try to fight or anything. Eric, please. I swear.
This
I got
time,
kidnapped.
sitting upright with both hands, she starts making more shift ways as more vines come up and hold the whole party in place. And Odd, yours just kind of, there's this like massive vine just kind of covering your front face, covering your mouth shut, as she kind of finishes off her druid magic and kind of goes back and takes her belonging into her backpack, and she just sprints off into the open void of land.
Before she sprints off, hold on. Before she sprints off, I'm casting Hold Person on her.
Roll with disadvantage.
She has to roll. It's a wisdom save.
Wait, how can you cast it if you're held down? Just curious. How do
We're held down.
He doesn't have control of his hands.
No,
My
you are
goodness.
vined up, like tight.
Okay, mana chain.
So we try and break out. I assume.
Yeah.
Well,
It'll
you
be strength saving throw.
so strength saving throw with disadvantage.
Okay.
No.
No, I get 12.
And mine was 8, actually.
Way I rolled a nat 20.
Oh, -1.
My 10 is -1, yeah.
All right, so we have.
I got a 13.
Okay,
And
so
Oaks is an 8.
12 from Clomax. Ennis
Yep.
is an
It's
8.
an 8. That's
Odd is a 13, and Marin is a 14. Am I reading these right? Okay, Marin, you're the only one who kind of finds a weakness because probably you're far back. She couldn't see you well enough to do her magic properly, and just find a way how to get out of the vines and kind of pull away from them.
Should I run after her or try and free you guys? What do you want me to do?
run after her.
Oh, the vine of-
Run
of
after
space.
her.
Okay, and I start running
Hold
after
her
her.
in place.
Can't do that.
Ugh.
Eric,
Stay safe.
Please.
Follow her in distance.
please wait. He's not who you think he is. That wasn't him. Please wait. Talk to us.
She completely ignores you, keeps running.
Oh.
Do you keep running after
Okay.
her, Marin?
Yes, I'm following her.
Can we try and break free again?
Not yet, Marin.
Okay.
I am just following her, and I point at her and cast message and say, please give him another chance. At least just talk to me. I promise I won't hurt you.
She kind of slows down her run as she receives the message and kind of leans forward and catches her breath, and she looks, you see the beak kind of turns towards you. She's like, you see this? And she kind of lifts her supposed wings up, but there's nothing there, just what used to be wings. He did this to me. My friend did this to me, and laughed as she kind of fully upright turns back towards you. It's like, He meant it. Guys, you can give me another check to break free, by the way, at this point.
Disadvantage?
With disadvantage still, yes, please. Okay, Odd, you break free, you kind of loosen yourself. Tlomax.
17. Okay, no, 12.
I lost this to 17.
Ennis, you all kind of at this point, seeing that she's far away from controlling her magic, you find a way how to just tear off the vines and get out of it.
Still,
Am I 120 feet from here?
At this point, I would say she is a good 180 feet away. Marin is close. Is kind of a few feet closer to you.
I'm going to start walking towards her with my hands up. Actually, I'll take out my daggers, hoping she's seeing, and just drop them down and walk.
I turn back to Auden and
I stop. Okay. I stop.
turn back to her.
She's a bit hesitant, and she's like, "He looks so different. He looks so different."
It's been a long time. He's not a boy anymore. But
Last I saw him, he was a teen. I thought he returned back, but he's a full-grown man now. I thought he came to finish me off.
you need to know that wasn't him. Between when he was 10 and when he was 20, he was being controlled by the evil. He doesn't even remember anything. He has no idea what he did to you because it wasn't really him. He is going to be horrified when he sees what he's done.
She
Please,
kind of
you just talk
puts
to him.
hands and she puts her face in her hands and collapses down to her knees. It's like,
Kneel down next to her.
so you move towards her and you kind of ease down next to her, and
I'm so sorry this happened to you.
she kind of, the tears rolling down her feathered face, and looks up again and shouts at you. It's like, "You monster!" As her voice echoes through the fields.
It was a monster controlling him. It wasn't really him. He doesn't even remember it.
She looks up to you and she says, "You vouch this."
I vouch it. Here in
And you see,
Guild and
she kind of twists her fingers just slightly, but you notice it, and this white light kind of surrounds you both and disappears. And she looks up to you, it's like, your word is your oath. If you lie, it will kill you."
ask me what you want to ask me.
Is he sane of mind?
I don't know right now. He is hearing a voice in his head telling him to do bad things, and he's trying to resist it. He's trying very hard. And that's probably the voice of whatever caused him to do this terrible thing to you.
She kind of looks in the distance as Odd is still there. Ennis, Tlomax, what are you guys doing, by the way?
I'm still in the vines.
You want to try and break free? Ennis, tell me what you're doing in the meantime.
I'm standing next to Odd. The fact that Mary kind of told us not to approach, I stopped there.
15
I'm
about.
waiting to see what's going on.
So Tlomax, finally, you kind of just, in frustration, you just kind of tear them like, just finally just tear them, just
Yeah, I just rush
frustration.
forward behind Ennis, behind Odd. Just stay there.
Okay. Eric kind of looks back at Marin, with these eyes of uncertainty. It's like, has he harmed any of you?
Don't you remember him hurting any of us?
But has he tried?
told us to bind him so that he wouldn't be able to hurt us.
You're not answering my question. Has he tried?
He was told to and he resisted.
So he's fighting. Whatever
Yes.
it is. She looks over back at Otis like, very well, I trust you.
That's why we're here. We're trying to end whatever this is, and
She
you
once
could give
again-
us some answers.
She once again like twists her fingers as once again these light kind of this time kind of spiral down around you. You're free. And she picks herself up, kind of like shoving away your arm. I hope I hope you have tents to make camp. It's quite a large plain here in the flatlands. And we will end our session there. Thank you everyone who watched this. Thank you so much. Once again, thanks to our sponsors, Warmonger Studios. Sorry, my God, the Miniature Corner Studio, Warmonger Games Malta, and the Giants Tower. Thanks everyone for watching this late, by the way. I hope you enjoyed the session. And tomorrow there is another D&D session with JP's group. They've just managed to get themselves out of a witchy situation. So if you are tuning in, you can see all of the YouTube videos to recap, and you can watch them tomorrow. Until then, guys, see you next month for my session. Bye-bye.
Bye.
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 Bye.